last said.
So she's working with General Motors at the minute. She has a podcast tomorrow with the CEO of Cadillac. So she's already working with big clients, and says that she really needs a coach and direction because she's learning on the job as it is.
Okay. And what was the last thing she said to you? What's up, Sean?
She said good night now.
Good night.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Right.
I said talk to her tomorrow.
Can you hear me all right? Just because this lead has been booky the last day or two.
Yeah, I know a few things about booky leads.
Okay. Yeah. Right. And in regards to the fucking that, what leave it on a touch point till tomorrow. Just don't for till the morning. So if that's the last thing she said to you, right?
Give me a touch point to leave her with.
What's the last thing she said? The very, very last thing she said. Sorry, lads, just have to sort out this alarm. What's the very last thing she said?
He sent 2-minute voice notes about how big of a priority it is for her, and then she said goodnight.
Okay.
While I was typing a response, she jumped in and just dropped goodnight. But that's like the second time she said goodnight. She already bought back.
Use the mashallah inshallah thing and be like have a blessed night, and then also say that you hope to see. Also say that you hope to see her back. You hope to see her booked in for. You hope to see the booking in the morning. Blah blah blah. Right, Mr. Adam Horn, welcome back, brother. I hope you've had an amazing Christmas, my man. Good to see you back in the group calls.
Love to be back, boys. Love to be back.
Welcome, Mike.
How are you doing? How was the Christmas? Good?
Yeah, it was all right. Wasn't too bad.
Good. Well, we have a new face in here today, Mr. Scally. Present yourself. Hello? Me, now out you in front of everybody and pin you to the screen. You're muted, man. We can't hear you. Yeah, you should be able to see. You should be able to see down at the bottom. At the bottom, you'll be able to see. Click the unmute button. I don't know why you have to do. Anyways, while Jamie's sorting out his technical difficulty, boys, how is everybody doing? Dave, how are you doing today?
Got it.
Yeah, sweet. Jamie, good to be here, man. Good to have you here.
Good to be here, man. Good to be here.
Excited to get going?
I am excited.
Good. You joined on a very good call, man, right? Boys, every Wednesday going forward this year, it's going to be absolutely generational. Today, it's going to be all about goal setting. I have a document prepared. So Adam Horan, David, Dylan, whenever the boys, they're still hopping off. Oh, they're here now. Here's Adrian, here's Dylan. But the boys will remember the call we had just before Christmas. And it was a mindset call. We had a document prepared and it was really good. But today we have another one. And it's going to be about setting standards, expectations, goals heading into 2026. Welcome, lads who are arriving in there late just from that training call. But also, guys, I mean it when I say it. I'm trying to push as many group calls as like really good guest calls as possible. So who here is familiar with Kyle Cook? The ex-goalkeeper. Yeah. David, are you trying to ask a question or you just
Is that the Irish guy? The Irish, like blonde-haired fella that keeps coming up on my Instagram.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I have a call with him tomorrow. So we're going to be organising getting him on for a group call.
He seems really good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ryan Power, you're raising your hand. Is that just saying that you know him?
Yeah, that was just a good hand.
Yeah, sweet. But David, fair play. You are on 3 4K pips this week.
Yeah, and there's a payment collection call just started there at 7 o'clock.
Is that for
a lead that I booked in last week, but she didn't close?
Yes, sir. So what are you on so far this week?
That'll be, if she closes for the full amount, it'll be, well, she will. It'll be, what's that, $800?
Good shit, bro. Good shit.
Preach.
Adam Horns after getting onboarded onto an offer, and guess who he's setting for, boys? Adam is on the offer that Big Casterly is closing on. So the two lads are going to be working close together, which is good. How are you feeling about that, Adam? You're muted, man.
Yeah, no, I was trying to get it done. I'm getting used to the laptop again.
Yes, it's been a while. It's probably gathering dust there.
Yeah, dusted off there a minute ago. But all good. Looking forward to it now. Yeah, I got into his Instagram account to get it there today. So just have a call there after this with Matt, and just have to get a coach profile and KPIs and so on. We
Yeah.
can move forward then.
Back in business, man. Back in business. Time to get
Back in business.
the ball rolling, right? But boys, right? Dylan, your hand's raised, man.
No, just happy to see you again, Adam.
Good
Love
shit.
to hear that, Dylan. Love to hear that. Love to hear
Good
that.
shit. It was a shame, obviously, not having you at the event, man. But yeah, obviously, man, everybody here supports you, man. Everybody here has love for you, you know, and we're all here to back you as much as we can, man. Obviously, you know. But boys, anybody anything they'd like to ask or anything they'd like to say before we go ahead into the call? And I'm going to start to go through what I have prepared for you guys today.
No, fire away, Sensei.
Perfect. I'm gonna take that as, let's start this, right? So, lads, after speaking to most of you on a one-to-one level, right? One thing I've noticed, even though that I have pushed this, is that you haven't set yourselves up for 2026 correctly. And I mean by goals, standards, and what it is that you want to achieve out of this year. Okay, so this call is going to be exactly what you actually need, right? The year that you actually follow through, because I know a lot of you guys, Jamie coming in here, I know a lot of you guys that have only joined over the last month or so, or maybe have had a setback, or even lads that are doing insane now and want to take things to the next level. This is going to set you up rightly to kickstart this year the way you want to, you know? And the lads that do follow through with this, you're going to see 2026 be the most transformational year that you've had to date. And it'll be a year you remember, right? So at any stage going through this whole document, if anybody has a question, raise your hand. Feel free. If I'm going too fast, raise your hand. Feel free to tell me to slow the foot down. But whatever comes to mind, it's an open discussion as always, because I'm probably going to go off topic about 100 times as always, right? But first of all, guys, the foundation, right? And this is honesty before ambition. And I'd advise to take out a pen and paper. And if you notice anything while we're doing this that you feel would help you if you addressed, take it down, right? Take it down, because I'm not going to rip through this. We have an hour and I want to take this at a good speed for everybody, right? So most men don't fail because they lack motivation or information. They fail because they avoid honesty. And that's simply just being honest with yourselves. Because, guys, sometimes you might think, oh, I need to talk to this guy, I need to talk to that guy. No. Sometimes sitting down and talking with yourself is the biggest and most powerful conversation that you can actually have, right? So before you guys start to plan anything in 2026, ask yourselves this, right? What am I currently tolerating that I know is holding me back? Right. And one thing, I was actually speaking to a guy today, and he works in the management behind the scenes. You guys won't know of him at all yet, because he's just involved with the management. And he was telling me, I asked him, did he get something done today? And he said that he had to bring his girlfriend for a 2-hour drive XYZ to get something. And I said, man, you had to bring your girlfriend for a drive, or you were made to bring your girlfriend for a drive. It's the middle of the week. It's the middle of the day. You should, like, what's going on here? You know, priorities here, man. It was something big that had to be done. Like, obviously, you know, you have to bring your girl XYZ, but some people don't treat this remote work as if it's a genuine job. Some people, like, they don't set their priorities in the right way. Treat this the way you would if you want to get to 1 million a month, right? 1 million a month. And I'm probably shouting out a number and you're like, what is this guy talking about? But it's just back again. What are you tolerating that's holding you back? That's the first kind of thing that came to mind. It's like, why are you tolerating that? And it's not the first time we've seen this incident with this guy, where it's been a case of, oh, he had to do this for his girlfriend or his family members, or it's that. He's not setting the right standards or tone, right? And another one is like, what habits, behaviors, or people do I already know I need to change, right? What decisions have I been delaying because it feels uncomfortable, right? Clarity does not come from more thinking. It comes from acting on the truth you already know. So when I asked all those questions, I'm sure with some of you, there's going to be something that came up straight away, whether it's time you're dedicating to the skill you're trying to craft, whether it's people you're still having in your life, whether it's habits that you said to yourself in 2025 that you were going to leave, but still have already carried with you into the first 7 days of 2026, you know? So that's kind of the start, guys, right? It's just about being honest with yourself. So why most people fail their goals every year, right? Goals fail when they're set without identity, standards, and systems, right? And yeah, I know that after me saying that, you probably won't understand like what do I exactly mean. Goals without identity, right? If your identity hasn't changed, your behavior won't change under pressure. And what I mean by identity is how you see yourself. Last year, when I started to make content, when I still live in a Mullingar, not really even still living in a Mullingar, when I first moved to Sweden, I already seen myself as somebody that, like, I knew that I was getting off the sites. I knew that the 9 to 5 was not what I was settling for. And I seen myself every day as somebody that made money online, somebody who was living the life he wanted to live. So when times came that when I was in Sweden and people were asking me to go drinking, Aaron Mooney's in Sweden, guys, obviously a lot of you know that for context, but the culture there in Sweden is very much drink, drugs, XYZ. But when the time came that lads in my house were going drinking and they were asking me XYZ, I had already accepted that I was becoming this next version of myself. So when pressure was coming on to me, like every one of you will experience from friends asking you to do XYZ, pulling you off your path, not staying aligned with who you are, pressure will come so much. David and Dylan, two lads from Mullingar, I know closely how that world of Mullingar works. Even Jamie is from Mullingar too, boys, if you don't know. And Adrian lives in Mullingar too. You know how the game goes. And if you don't see yourself now as that person, when the time comes that outside noise is trying to make its way back in, you have to act and move now as if you would when you already have everything that you want. Because I know what all of you want, and you have all expressed it to me. But are you moving now like the version of you that already has that? And answer that to yourselves right now. Are you moving daily? Are you managing your time? Are you holding yourself to a good standard? Are you saying no to people that you should be saying no to? You know, at the end of the day, if you're forever keeping other people happy, the one person that matters the most in your life won't be happy, and that's you, right? So if your identity hasn't changed, your behavior won't under pressure. Who do I believe I am when things get hard? Do you crack under pressure? Do you turn to drink? Do you smoke joints? Do you take your eye off the ball, right? Who do I default back to when motivation fades? You don't rise to your goals, you fall back to your identity. And that's the first thing that needs to change. Your identity. How do you see yourself? Because remember, everything you think, and I know we've done this call before, and I it's something that I'm kind of trying to learn a little bit more about and educate myself even more to an even deeper level. It's the mind and how it works. But we all think, you know, that voice inside our head that we talk to ourselves. Every one of us, we all talk to ourselves daily in our heads. So don't make me out to be a crazy man when I'm saying that. But how you talk to yourself and how you believe yourself to be, what you believe yourself to become, that all feeds into your subconscious mind. And that's where the real wiring is done. As a Sparky, there are definitely some form of wires going on in the subconscious center of your mind, because that's where the whole interface and your whole reality is programmed. And if you're not feeding that correctly, you won't get to the level that you want to get to. Does anybody have any questions as well so far? Is everybody kind of following me? Okay.
Yeah, all good.
Good. Dylan, what are you saying, brother?
Just after this, would you be able to send me over that sheet, please? Because I want
Of
to.
course, man.
I
Of
want to
course.
print it out and actually go over it and write down some bits.
Of course, brother. Of course. Anybody that wants this is going to be recorded and this is going to be uploaded onto the WAP as well, because I want anybody that has missed this to be able to. But we've kind of got a good turnout today, right? So, what do we mean by standards, right? A clear definition. So many people throw around so many buzzwords, and I feel like they don't give enough context behind the word standards, right? Standards are rules you live by, even when you don't feel like it, right? They remove the negotiation from your life. So standards answer the question, what do I refuse to tolerate anymore? Right? And here are some examples of standards. I train a minimum of X times a week, no negotiation. It is simply a standard. I do not numb stress with alcohol, drugs, or distractions, fucking porn, doom scrolling. Like, I don't, boys, if all of us right here, I'm going to pull you all back onto this, even though I can only see a certain amount of you, but if all of us could combine how many hours we've spent doom scrolling in this call alone, I would say it is chronic how much time all together all of us have spent mindlessly doom scrolling when we're not actually even taking anything in. Somebody raised their hand, but for some reason it's not. Adrian, it's not actually coming up for me. Fire your head, brother.
I do have to say, the moment you kind of lock in with an offer and stuff like that, you actually forget to doom scroll and actually go on social media. I do have to say I had a very bad habit of that beforehand, but now, like, locking in, man, I go home and I set, and that's it. That's my priority set for the day. And even on Arian's call, I'd be telling him I set to like 5 a.m. because I forget time exists, and then I have an actual job in on the background.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that type of standard is going to pay off for you. As long as your sleep ain't cooked, because if I'm remembering,
That'd be grand.
no, honestly, do not underestimate recovery. That's the one thing last year. And
Yeah, no, I get a solid 5 to 6 hours. It doesn't bother me.
But 5 to 6 hours ain't good enough.
Bro, if you want to be big like me, you need you need to get your recovery.
That's gonna be in Thailand, bro. Once I actually have free time.
Guys, I don't know. We should forward you in the video of the villa that we've secured for Thailand. But oh my God, Dylan, how do you feel? There's actually a mini gym in the villa in Thailand. There's a treadmill, there's bench, there's weights. I know the weights aren't big enough for you, Dylan, but for little men like us, you know what I mean. They're good. How are you feeling about the villa, Dylan? What do you think of it?
Man, I won't lie, you're all my brothers in here, boys. I literally shed a silent tear. I could not believe.
I'll show you really quickly what
that I'd be going from my nanny's box room to be living out in a fucking villa in Thailand with the boy. It just reminds you of the original Sidemen house. That's
Still,
what
man,
it
it's
reminds
the
me of.
exact same as me.
Exactly. I was just about to say
room.
that. Like, bro, when I was booking my flight with Ryan Power, like he could probably tell you the fucking excitement I had
Holy.
fucking texting him. Like, I was ecstatic. Like, I was gone out of the world, bro.
Ryan Power's a snake. Anyways, he's moving up to business class with his Revolut points.
This is the villa, boys.
That's because I reminded the fucker about them. It's because I told him I had
Language.
rev points and I'm gonna use them. Apologies.
Language. Let's keep this PG-13. But
That's amazing.
look at the this is it. And like, oh shit, oh sugar, me about to curse as well there. But like, this is simply locking in an online income, because this is like, for everybody it's 800 a month. You know, it's 5.4k. Do you know what this reminds me of, right? If anybody here has played GTA 5,
Franklin's house.
Huh?
Franklin's new house.
Franklin's house in GTA 5. That's what it reminds me.
Yes,
So all we
sir.
need is Chop, boys. We're gonna get some stray off.
Yeah, we need to get a stray dog and call him Chop. Is exactly what we need. Right. Let's go back to it, boys. Back to it. Locking in. Right. But yeah, Dylan. I can't remember what you said, but yes. Right. So
Thanks for paying attention, bro.
I'm only joking. Right. I do not skip difficult conversations. And right, context this for a sec. Difficult conversations can be addressing your skill level, because one thing I want to do is be super direct with guys when they're on offers, because it's the only way that you will improve. Calling out bullshit for bullshit when we see it. And because the thing is, when you have those hard conversations, you do step away with a weight lifted off your shoulders. And there's no better place than here to have those difficult conversations, because so many times in life you might open yourself up to criticism, but that criticism isn't coming from the right place. Every man in this group that you speak to will only criticize you in a way that is constructive and is coming from the right place. And if it is ever me, which it will be a lot, it's never coming from a place of like, oh, I dislike you or blah blah blah. It's coming from a place of, bro, you are like you're what's the word I'm looking for? You could be doing so well, but what are you doing? You're not doing what you said you would. You're not doing the fundamentals. Why? Because you could be doing so more. You have so much potential, but you're not fulfilling it because you're not holding yourself to a standard. And that is something that a lot of us will endure. And I've had it too. I've literally had it too. I had a consulting call before Christmas Day with a guy that did 134K in November, Jordan Davison, and we went through everything I do personally, and he slated me on that call, absolutely slated me from my own, and I thought I was doing things to a high standard, but no matter what, those conversations are hard to have in the moment, but you will always step away knowing that, okay, that was so beneficial because at the end of the day, it's the truth, you know? And one big thing, I do not surround myself with people who pull me backwards. That is a standard, and they are simple standards, men. Simple standards. We all have friends that we love, that we hold dearly in our heart, and we can always make time for that. But simply ask yourself, are those in your circle pushing you forward or pulling you back? And I know a lot of this mindset stuff can be repetitive by times, but some of you need to hear this shit again. Some of you need a refresher on, are you surrounding yourself with people that pull you backwards? Because even at Christmas time, when I went home to my family, I went back to my nana's, being back home with my nana's, like, it's hard because you're back around people that don't see life through the same lens. And even my like close people in my family, like guys, you'll probably find this crazy. My mother and all of my aunties smoke weed. And for me, weed, I can't be around it because it was something I was once addicted to, and I just can't be around it because I hate having temptation near me, you know? So surround yourself with people that uplift you, not pull you backwards. I guarantee you, every single man that took that risk to move to Thailand, whether it was feasible, whether it was a realistic option, is going to make so much progress in 2026. So much. Whether, like, I know that there's definitely going to be lads that financially it wasn't on paper the best move. But just because on paper it wasn't the best move, put yourself in a back against the wall situation. When I moved to Barcelona, I had 350 quid in my bank account, and I moved over on the 1st of the month. 350 quid in my bank account. I had to have by the end of that month rent, and I had to live for the month. When you put yourself in a back against the wall situation and all you can do is eat, what are you going to do realistically? Like, I salute the guys that are genuinely taking a plunge here, because the growth you're going to see in 2026 is going to be insane. Why? Because the standards you're setting for yourself are so high. I take risks. I back myself. I'm going to surround myself with winners, with people doing so much more than me, right? Standards are not goals. Goals are what you want, and standards are what you live by. Right? Your life already reflects your standards, whether you like it or not. Right? And that all hits hard, boys, because I'm gonna say it again. Standards aren't your goals. Goals are what you want. Standards are what you live by. Your life already reflects your standards, whether you like it or not. Judging by everybody's life situation, we can tell what your standards are physically, mentally, spiritually, how much respect you have for yourself, judging by the situation you are in, you know? Anybody, as I said, if anybody has any questions, man, put in. Let me just do a spot check here on cameras and how, Adrian, I think you've already sorted you. Why can't I don't like that I can't see everybody on the screen anymore. We're getting that big now, boys, that I can't see all the faces anymore, so I can't.
I think it's because you have your main screen pinned and it pushes all the cameras to the side.
Yeah, it's because I'm presenting, but let me see. No, I can't see if cameras are off. Anyways, we'll keep her lit, right? I trust that the people are listening that are properly, fully paying attention are locked in, right? Now, another buzzword, let me actually underline this, is systems. Because I've heard the word, oh, you haven't got the correct systems in place. And I'm like, bro, what do you mean when you say systems? This word systems is thrown around. I'm like, man, like I got it, like I don't know what you were talking about, right? Systems are repeatable actions that make success inevitable, right? They replace motivation with structure because so many of us get spurts of motivation. Oh, I'm actually feeling motivated tonight. I'll do a role play. Then tomorrow comes and there's no role play done, but there's an awful lot of arse scratching done, right? Systems answer the question, what do I do even on bad days? Because if you come home, it's so easy to just, jump onto the couch, throw on something there, throw the arm around the woman, and bit of scrolling, bit of snuggling, bit of kissing, bit of watching TV, and eat the dinner, and back at it again tomorrow, right? That's not going to get any of us anywhere, right? Examples of systems: a fixed weekly training schedule, right? A daily non-negotiable work block, a morning routine that starts the day intentionally. And before anybody even says this morning routine stuff, I know the fluff that is surrounded in this. Every single day, right, my work day starts at 9:30. And that 9:30 is actually a team meeting with Aaron because he's a setter on one of the offers that we manage. And now you know, Aaron, my work day actually starts at 9:30. That's the first, my day. There might be messages that I need to reply to prior, right? But my workday starts at 9:30.
What time do you go to sleep?
Ask me that in 2025. It could be free. It could be any time from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. But in 2026, I have not went to bed before. I have not went to bed after 11:30. I am in bed before 11:30 every single night. I sleep by 12 latest. And this is something that I struggled with so badly last year. But I knew that I could not carry over that into this year, right? At what time do you go to bed at, Ryan Power, as a matter of fact?
Probably about 4, half 4.
The reason why I know that is
I
because
know,
I've seen them
the reason
online.
why. I know the reason why, because you're on an American offer.
Yeah, no, I don't wake up till like 11:30, 12 though. So like I still get 8 hours sleep.
As long as you're getting that 8 hours sleep, man, I'm not going to lie to you, boys. I'm actually probably straight after this going to buy the WAP. The Whoop. Not WAP. The Whoop. I had the Whoop before and it was insane. And I did this. This is when I didn't have more funding to put into things. But back in the day, I got the Whoop on free trial. And I ended up never actually paying for the subscription. You could get it for a month free trial. Boys, the Whoop, there is no referral. I'm not getting commission off you buying a Whoop, but oh my God, the Whoop is insane. It's for tracking your sleep and for recovery. Dylan, what Dylan's about to tell you, it's not. He's about to give you a new system here. Go on, Dylan.
No, just what did it say your Whoop age was, just as a matter of interest?
It didn't say my age, but it had my heart. There was something got to do with my heart, and and I was working in Sweden at the time, and it had me in between 40 to 45. So the thing is, I was when I first started appointment setting, I was in Sweden working 7.5, 6, and then I had a group call from 7 to 8, so I couldn't actually start setting at 8. So I was probably setting from 8 to like 2:30, 3 every single night. And then what I'd do is go to sleep. I'd sleep till like 5:45 because we'd be on site for like 6:15, 6:30, depending, right? So that's how much sleep I was getting. So I was cooked. I was running off. I'm not even gonna lie, I wasn't even running. I was running off mochas. There was this.
Yeah, no, that's ass, bro. That's ass.
Yeah, I was running. There was this free coffee dispenser on the site I was on, and it was like mochas. I was running off these mochas. So I was right, but. When I say a morning routine, right? Every morning I start work at 9:30. Before that starts, right? I literally have my breakfast had already. And I also read 10 pages. And it's right here beside me. This is the book that I'm reading right now at the moment, Diary of a CEO. Right? every single morning. Just get 10 pages. I try my best. I get up at around, what time did I get up at this morning? I get up this morning at 7:15. And I get up every morning and I do not touch my phone for the first half an hour, 45 minutes. So I'm active on my phone from 8 a.m. onwards, but I try to make sure that I get up. The first thing I do is go for a whiz and have a cup of tea, sit down, read 10 pages. And I feel better, right? Because last year I used to get up. The first thing I do, before I even put on jocks, go out, turn on the laptop, go in, brush the teeth, whatever, and it was all over the place. But now it's way more structured. The morning is just structured. I'm not rubbing my face with ice. I'm not going in doing 50 fucking jumping jacks and all this random bullshit. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm just doing something that works for me. And what works for me is this: starting work at 9:30, having my breakfast. I have a breakfast before the call, same breakfast every day: 2 turkey sausages, 2 turkey rashers and 3 eggs, slice of brown bread, bit of red sauce. Same thing every day. This morning I only had 1 sausage this morning because there was only 1 left, but it's the same thing every day. And then a weekly review of progress and failures. Guys, look at this, right? Let me show you this. Where is it? Right, this is what I'm filling out. Oh shit, that's right. This is what I'm filling out daily, right? So, right, this is just simply what I'm filling out daily. What I did today, how did I feel today? Performance rating, environment impact, had I my priorities right? Mental weights, mental ways, energy level, key insights, tomorrow's focus, right? Date, what time I woke up at and what time I fell asleep at, right? And this is Adam Casterly's one. Sorry, I didn't mean to be showing his, but I have access to his because obviously Adam Casterly is a coach. Oh, I shouldn't have stopped presenting there. But that's what I hold. You're all on camera for some content. I'll be muted, by the way, don't worry. But this is something that I'm doing at the end of every day. And it's not just that, right? And I know a lot of you are like, feck, this fella is, yeah, I am doing this because I want to be making 6 figures by my birthday. I'm going 24 in May, and I want to have a business that does 6 figures every single month by my birthday. And that's a goal that I have set for myself and broke down. So you have to treat yourself like I'm a $1 million business owner already. Because in order for you to become that version, you must be that version now. And I know sometimes it's hard, but if any of you have also want help with any of these, we can do this for you. Like at the end of the day, your one-to-one call, you can see the questions that you have to fill out, what exactly it is you want help with, what would make this call a 10 out of 10. Bring what you're struggling with to the surface. If I see people book a call and they don't even have it filled out, it's like, what are your intentions? You know, you have issues. Bring them to the surface. Make it clear, because the more honest you are with yourself and with me, the more I can actually help you, right? So when people say systems, this is what we mean. This is a better insight as to what we mean. And even at that, I do a to-do list every single morning. Every single morning, I do a to-do list. Where are we? To-do list. I do a to-do list every single morning, right? And I also have EODs every single day, right? All the problems that I'm facing. I've more. There's not just one individual EOD. There's more. And it's just because I hold myself to a higher standard. I want to see every aspect of what I'm doing, like where I feel things need more attention, you know. And obviously, because I'm at a different level, I'm trying to operate at a different level, but I want you to understand the thought process behind this and the standards that I'm setting for myself, so you have an idea if you strive to do more. Because there's going to be guys, as I said, in this group this year that push on to crush crazy numbers. Adam Casterly is going to hit his first 5-figure month this month, you know, and he started this in September, boys. September, you know, so it's all down to you and to the level that you hold yourself to. I don't want anybody that's in that villa in Thailand not posting content. Mr. Ryan Power, you better get your ass recording content now. And the one thing I have pushed you from the start to make content. I'm sorry for ruling you out right now, Ryan, but you have set standards high and you have done really well here in Beyond Set. After quitting your 9 to 5, after becoming a full-time appointment setter, and now you're moving the rest of it. Bro, it's a Whoop tracker, Adrian, if anyone thinking of getting one. Adrian, did you have your hand up and I didn't even answer you?
Yeah, bro.
Sugar, I didn't even see that, man. I can't see it here on my screen. So if you need to butt in, man, just butt in on me. Sorry, go on ahead.
I know, you're fine. You know that tracker that you use for your sleep, your to-do list, your all that stuff? What was that?
That was Notion, man.
Notion. Okay.
If anybody wants this exact one, I can send you a copy.
Yeah, that would be great.
But you can also look at it from a calendar point of view too. So if I go in, you can look at it from a calendar point of view too. So you can see your daily inputs every single day, and it's quite well good. Like Notion is really, really good. But was there anything else, Adrian, you wanted to ask?
No, just that, brother.
Sweet, right? But Ryan Powerman, your journey has been insane. If you had documented it from the start, you would be like, oh, I know it's hard. It's easier said than done, man. But you're just going to pop up now as another guy that is successful with online money and is living in Thailand. Imagine you had documented it from the start. I hope you have some videos, bro. I really do. Because your journey has been so cool. From getting on an offer, from getting kicked off an offer, to being back on the offer, to being now making moves for yourself, quitting your 9 to 5, moving to Thailand, man. That is top dog shit right there, man. Genuinely, Ryan, like, I love your story, man, because it's a real one. You've all odds were against you, man, and you just went after this, and I love that. I love that. But content, man, needs to be something that you do ASAP.
Yeah, I agree.
You unmute yourself. What have you to say?
I agree with you completely. I definitely have videos saved anyway before of like stuff you made me do, and like just a few videos I made on my own, but like just posting that's just another level down to me of like.
What do you feel will eliminate that barrier of discomfort that you're having?
Oh, I'll never not have it. It's just about doing it. Doing it will eliminate it. It's just like everything. That's what it is with everything. The minute you do it, like, you know what I mean? It's like when you're standing on the ledge before you jump into the sea. It's the same thing. Like, you're never going to not fear to jump, but like when you jump, you're grand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally get that. But anyways, having us with you in Thailand and that is going to be sick. By the way, boys, this is going to be, I'm starting a podcast, and this is going to be where the podcast is recorded every single Sunday. That is the spot. Look at Dylan jumping around the place there. But that is going to be every Sunday where the podcast gets recorded there with a nice view of the swimming pool. But it's going to be it's going to be top job. And just anybody as well that isn't coming, there is an open invite. If you're in Beyond Set, you will always be allowed to, like, I want to have a Beyond Set house for anybody to live together. And, you know, it's not even that expensive. That's the crazy thing. Right? But somebody raised their hand there. Fire away.
How many rooms is in it? Is it just like who's going, or is there spare rooms?
No, it's a 5-bed right now, but like we can upgrade. It's on a month lease, so like there's always going to be room to upgrade.
Sick. And do you mind me asking how much it is to like
It's
per person?
It's 5.8k, so per person, 5.4k altogether per month. So what's that per person? 5.4 divided by 8. It's €675 a month, man, per person. You know what I mean? Do you know what the funny thing is, boys? That's Ryan Power's base pay. Just over half of it monthly. Right?
That's crazy. Yeah, I was just asking because if stuff, you know, I do want to go out there, so just curious.
Sean, man, get out here. Get out here. You need to. Huh?
The beds are massive. You can cuddle with someone.
I just need to fucking put a few spanners in the works, you know, with my girlfriend, and yeah, work out a few things. I think I'm going to start making money this month, so I'm feeling motivated.
Change my name on WhatsApp, bro, and I'll throw a spanner in the works.
Oh, you're gas. You're absolutely gas, man. Dylan will always have
Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Dylan will always have the solution, right? So let's keep her lit, anyways, boys, right? An environment that supports discipline, again, not temptation, right? Motivation starts things, systems finish them. If you rely on motivation, you'll fail under pressure all the time. Lads, I've been since I was playing professional Fortnite when I was 15, and I used to do these cups weekly for as part of a group. I don't know if any of you even know this. I actually have YouTube videos.
I know this.
Yeah, Adrian knows this.
I used to watch your streams, bro.
Yeah, back in the day, I used to stream Fortnite, drop Fortnite videos on YouTube, and I actually made like a total of 200 quid. So I don't know if you'd branch me as being a professional just yet, but I've been on making money since I was really young. It was Fortnite originally. Then the next thing I did was trying to be a rapper. The next thing I did was crypto in 2020, which I actually made a lot of money from, but lost every single penny as well. And then it was drop shipping. And this is the first thing that made me money, big money. But I wasn't the person. I didn't have the systems. I was motivated, right? You wouldn't wrap a present. No, I genuinely won't, right? But I've always been motivated. But as I said, motivation starts things and systems finish them, right? Now, let's move on to the next. How to set goals. Damn, boys, this call, how much have we said? Right, okay, let's try to get this done, right? How to set goals that actually work in 2026, right? And step one for this, set fewer goals, not more. Too many goals create distraction, right? So this is kind of what I've limited myself to. One health goal, one income or skill goal, depending on your situation, one character or identity goal, right? And this can be simple because at the end of the day, the goal doesn't have to be super specific, but it's what comes underneath the goal, right? If everything is a priority, I want to make 10K, I want to get ripped, I want to get a girlfriend, I want to get a Lambo, you're not going to do it all, right? Narrow it down. Focus on soul things. One health goal, whether that be, right, I want to lose weight. Be specific. I want to lose 10 kg, right? I want to start making 5K a month with appointment setting. I want to be someone that people look up to, right? Step two, make goals identity based, right? Instead of focusing on outcomes like making the money and becoming the person that's disciplined, getting shredded, focus on who you must become, right? And what I mean by this, who must I become to achieve this goal? What would this version of me do daily? What would this version of me stop tolerating, right? Example, instead of I want to make more money, look at it from this angle. I am the type of man who executes daily without excuses. Even when it comes to role plays, a lot of us have gone through that phase now, and there still are some, and there's going to be new getting introduced to role plays. Do you execute or do you make excuses? Are you getting them done or are you keeping on saying, yeah, I'm going to do more? And it's simple. Do you execute daily without excuses or do you keep saying, I want to make more money? You have to ask yourself that question. And this ties back into the... Where is it? Why can't I find it now? Oh, I don't know where I'm off leaving it. The difficult conversations, right? This ties back into the difficult conversations that you have to have in order to move the needle forward, right? Identity creates behavior and behavior creates results. How do you see yourself? Because the way you see yourself is how you'll act. You know, see yourself now as the person that's doing the thing. A lot of the people, and this is me as well. This is kind of me too. I've fallen victim to this, right? When I have the things, when I have the money, when I live in Thailand, when I'm done my 9 to 5, I'm gonna do the things. I'm gonna start making the content. I'm gonna start acting like the version of me I want to be. Then I'll be able to be the version of me that I want to become. I'll be able to live the life that I've always wanted to live. I'll be able to act daily like the man I always wanted to become. Have the things. When I have the things, I'm going to do the things daily that I'd love to do. Then I will be that version of myself, right? That is totally wrong. You need to reverse the sequence. In order to be the person you want to be, right? You must start now by be, do, have. I am going to be that person now. I'm going to do the things daily now that he does, and then I will have the things that he has now, right? Anybody have any? And look, it's even what I went on to next. Is anybody have any questions so far? Yeah, there was a question there, hand raised. What is it? Somebody raise a hand there. No, maybe I don't know what I heard there. Right, step 3: reverse engineer the year. Right, imagine December 2026, or imagine not December. Imagine 2026 in general went perfectly. Right, answer this: what habits would I have built? What behaviors would be normal to me? What standards would be non-negotiable? And the most important one, what kind of man would I have become? And I simply want to be, personally, boys, I will become somebody that my little brother looks up to, and that everybody that's surrounded in my day-to-day life looks up to and aspires to be like. Because I want to help everybody that comes in my path, that crosses my path, and I want to be somebody that people can be like, yeah, he's good. He's got a good heart. He's a good guy. And I think that I'd love to be somewhat similar to him. Not because I'm perfect, not because I'm, how do I say it? Not because I'm putting myself on a pedestal, but because I want to be a role model for people. I want to be somebody that people can look like and say he's doing out of the goodness of his heart. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be, right? So work that backwards. Work these backwards. What must I be doing weekly? What must I stop doing immediately? And what must I remove from my environment? What's in your environment now that you already said to yourself that was going to stay in 2026 or in 2025, but didn't, right? So planning for 2026 and how to plan for 2026 properly, right? Think in quarters, not in years, right? Tackle this like it's an American football game. We've got Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. We're all in Q1 right now. I set up my goals this year monthly, like I do every month, and I've shown you all multiple times, but I've also done quarterly goals, right? And that's the end of April is when Q1 ends, right? There's 4 quarters, 4 months in each quarter. 4, 8, 12, never mind. Sorry, there's three months in each quarter. So it's January, February, end of March is the first quarter. I've also kind of blocked it into, as I said, what I want to achieve for each quarter, right? And that's how specific I personally go. Because as I said, I want to have a 6-figure a month recurring business by the time I turn 24, right? A year is too vague. Quarters create urgency, right? Break 2026 into quarter 1 is the foundation. Quarter 2 is the expansion. Quarter 3 is the pressure, and quarter 4 is consolidation, right? Foundation of everything that you're going to build this year. Expansion, right? What did you need to do in quarter 1 that when you move into quarter 2, you've set yourself so nicely up? Whether that's leave your job, whether that's start to break limiting beliefs. Oh, I can't make money online. This world doesn't exist. When I know every single one of you know now that it does. Jamie, you're the freshest guy in here, so you probably do still have some limiting beliefs about money online and that, but they're going to be shattered out of the park by the end of this week, right? But each quarter should have a main focus. One main focus, one main skill or habit to build, and one major thing to eliminate, right? You don't win years, you win seasons. And look at this year through that lens, lads, right? Look at this year through that lens. Weekly structure. Every week, you should follow something that is doable for you. Because reflection, I took a lot of time off this Christmas, a lot of time off. Like, we finished up our coaching calls, I think 2 or 3 days before Christmas Eve. I took a lot of time off, but when I say off, I mean I wasn't standing there looking at these four walls like, right, what do I do in my life now? I was reflecting and thinking back about the year, because 2025 for me was crazy, beyond belief crazy. And yeah, just crazy. And sometimes I had to pinch myself to be like, if I wake up from a dream in a bed in Sweden and alarms going off so I have to go into sight, I don't know what I'm going to do. This one crazy ass dream. But I've had to pinch myself sometimes, because I'm like, this is real, and reflecting on how things went, you can see things so much clearer. And that's what I kind of want you to adopt this year. Reflect. Because unless you sit down and relook and reflect on things, you won't know how to steer the ship going forward. Because when I actually sat down over Christmas and watched a load of YouTube videos, that's probably the main thing I did over Christmas, was watch YouTube videos, podcasts. If anybody, again, has any, like, they want to watch stuff for mindset, or they want to watch, they're trying to, they're trying to keep a podcast or listen to a podcast, I'll always help out with that, right? But reflection has really helped me for 2026, because I looked deeper into what I was doing and what was holding me back, right? So every week you should answer, what am I building this week, right? What am I strengthening this week? What am I removing or eliminating this week, right? If your week lacks structure, your year will collapse. At the end of the day, what am I building this week? Building a new habit. What is a new habit? I want to start banging out role plays. I want to start going to the gym this week. What am I building this week? Myself, physically, right? What am I strengthening this week? My focus. I'm trying to get better at focusing, right? What am I removing or eliminating this week? Distraction. In terms of distraction, we mean outside noise. Saying yes to my friends all the time when they're on asking me to go to the pub every single week. Saying yes to sitting down every single night and watching a movie, right? Stuff like that. And once you have it written out in front of you, and like here in front of me is 2026 little diary, and it's simply got every day my to-do list and a review, and just some small other things too. Like, I always write down real ideas or stuff like that. But it's good to have a little diary, and not because I'm here doodling my thoughts, my feelings, and my emotions. Well, that isn't bad at all, but it's just so I can see, like, the days and what I've done and how my mind has been, how I've been processing things, right? But anybody, any questions so far? If you do, jump at me, right? But discipline, responsibility, and follow through, right? Discipline is not a punishment. It's a self-respect. It is self-respect in action. Discipline removes chaos, creates peace, and builds trust in yourself. I remember last year I started reading, and I didn't stay consistent with it throughout the whole year. And it's something I look back on and I was like, how did I not stay consistent with that? It's something that, like, I value reading so much, because number one, your reading improves your vocabulary, because you're reading new words, you're enhancing your understanding of the English language. You're also learning too, and it's peaceful. There's no noise. Unless I actually heard of a guy that reads while listening to sounds in the background. I don't know if any of you do that, but I don't do that, right? But it's something that I wish I didn't leave behind so early into 2025. Go on.
Yeah, well, the reason why people do that is because, like, of their ADD or the ADHD, like, they need some kind of background noise in order to stay focused.
Yeah. No, I respect that. And like I said, responsibility is accepting that. So I accepted, number one, that I didn't continue to read as much as I would have liked to throughout the year, because I personally see myself, if I want to be $1 million business owner, I read. That guy reads. So why am I not doing it now? What's stopping me? And it's simply time management. A lot of 2025, I thought I was too busy to read, but I'm not. I'm just not managing my time properly. A lot of you think you're too busy to do X, Y, Z, but you're not. You're just not managing your time properly, right? Because every single one of you have heard this, but nobody's coming to save you. Nobody owes you belief. Nobody is responsible for your discipline but you. And nobody is coming to break those chains that are wrapped around you but you, right? Anybody, any questions so far? Right, let's move on. Faith, discipline, and action are connected, right? Movement creates direction. And if this call ends, we will continue this next week, but I really don't want this to, and I want to have a little time as well for questions. So I'm gonna rip through this, right? What will actually make 2026 different for you guys? Not motivation, not inspiration, not another plan. What changes everything is honest self-assessment. And I've actually only come to an understanding of this over the last 2 to 3 weeks, because I haven't ever actually sat down and done as much honest self-assessment as I did in my time over Christmas, right? Clear standards, right? We know what standards are now. We went through that. Everybody, I'm gonna upload this onto the WAP as well for anybody to watch back, and attached to that WAP module is going to be this document. But if you want, I can just drop it straight into the chat. I can just drop it straight into the chat instead. Simple systems, right? And consistent execution. The version of you that wants the life must outgrow the version that created the struggle, right? Final questions to sit with. What ends today? What standards become non-negotiable, right? What excuse am I done repeating? What systems will carry me forward when motivation fades? 2026 will expose what you tolerate, boys, and make sure it reflects who you guys are becoming individually, right? Guys, that is 2026 in a nutshell, and how I would advise you to follow through with the year. Anybody, any questions, or how did you guys find that call?
It was really informative. Definitely, if you can drop that file into the group chat, because I actually want to start filling it out before I even go to Thailand.
Okay. David, how did you find that call?
Personally, I always like the kind of mindset and goal setting in relation to goal setting calls. Something that I've kind of started even doing the last week, I'd say, if I'm being fully truthful, in 2026 is the daily reflection, and it's just really good for like auditing yourself, just seeing how much you're getting done and how much time you're actually wasting. Because people say there's no time, but there's loads of time in the day, especially when you manage it well.
I've been a victim of that myself for a long, long time too. I've been a victim of that there's no time for a long, long time. And it's simply me just talking shit to myself. There's always time, but it's how honest you want to be. Because at the end of the day, until you sit down and be like, what the fuck am I? Sorry, boys. Apologies. Until you sit down and be like, what am I at? Like, I've said I'd do this, but I haven't. So why am I expecting X, Y, Z? Assess yourself and reflect on yourself, because every single one of you guys, and I'm going to shout out all your names: Aaron, Adam Horn, Adrian Krupa, David Ahi, Dylan Daly, Jamie Scally, Mike Kelly, Ronan Regan, Ryan Power, Sean Simons, me. We all have shit we want to achieve this year, boys. But until we sit down and have that honest chat with ourselves, all those dreams and things we want to achieve, they're going to stay dreams until we sit down and ask ourselves, what could we have done better, and what do we expect from ourselves now? You know, I've dropped that into the chat, lads, and I want you all to have a little crack at this. And I've one-to-ones over next. We know the story now with Thursdays and Fridays. That's when one-to-ones are on. So I'm going to be speaking to you all individually over the next 2 days, right? But what I want you to do is have something to show me. Have something to show me in terms of 2026. What you're going to do, how you're going to keep the ball rolling. right? How you plan on moving moving things forward. Jamie, Mr. Scally, how are you feeling after your first group call so far?
Good, yeah. Meeting call like this. Struggle a lot with time management and saying and not doing. Like, I'd say I'm going to do something, but I wouldn't do it. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, no,
It's
it
a
helps.
bit of a
That's-
different call for you to jump in on because obviously Wednesday
Yeah.
is mindset, and tomorrow's SDR as well. So get ready for tomorrow, boys. Tomorrow I'm going to be putting you're all going to be stepping outside of your comfort zone tomorrow, right?
I don't even know what SDR means, man.
Well, you're going to know from tomorrow onwards. From tomorrow onwards, you're going to know what SDR is. And Mr. Sean Simons pointed out last week that there was a juicy 2.5 base pay on one of these offers. And I see a lot of you licking your lips there when you're seeing that. Yes, boys, I want you all to be killers because the pool of offers has only gotten bigger over the last week. Genuinely, right? Today asked I think this meeting